We're going to use today both a loop and then just an open resistance band. I'm using medium on both. Can, of course, change as we go. Martha, you might want a strap if you have a strap. If you don't, you'll just do it out. Yeah. And then maybe you'll need blocks, maybe you'll need blankets. Those are mostly optional things if you need padding under the knees or support under the hands. So we're going to start standing up. We're just going to do a little yoga flow. We're going to throw some resistance bands in there. This isn't really a strength building workout, but the bands will show us, well, they'll add some interest, right? Because we typically don't do yoga flows with the bands. And then they'll highlight a few actions that we work on when we're doing yoga. All right, so you've got a loop that's going to go around your ankles. Right? And then if you've got a band or a strap, you're going to hold that in your hands. Right? So with your legs, you're just going to step your feet apart enough that you feel some resistance. All right? You're not trying to overly stretch. You just want to feel that if you were to kind of relax, you would cave in onto your inner feet. All right? So you're just going to find that pressure on the outer feet from the outer hip to the outer heel. Right, and then you'll take your resistance band. Now, if you're using your strap, use a distance that you can get your hand, your arms to go over your head. With the resistance band, this feels a lot different because you can pull on it and it's going to change its length, right? So you can figure out for you what distance to hold the hands apart to be able to go up and over, up and over. Inhale on your way up, exhale on your way down. Keep going. I'm just raising the camera because it's cutting me off. All right, and then next time you get to the front, you're going to stop in the front. You're going to hold that left hand stationary and just bring the right arm up and over. Just the right arm up and over. All right, and then switch your sides after you get that arm over. Then it's the left arm. I don't know which arm it is. It's the right arm. Left arm is going to go up and over. All right, and then just to be symmetrical, do a couple with both arms. And then the shoulders warmed up. All right, now, Martha, you might just want to do this stretch. That will be fine. If you've got resistance bands, you're going to take resistance band and hook it under your left foot. Right, and we'll start by, it's slack here. I'm not putting resistance into it. I'm going to reach down and catch it at my knee and stand up. Right, and then you don't want this arm rolling forward. You want this arm rolling back. And we're just going to slide that left arm down and get some stretch. Martha, you can go side to side if it's easier for you. All right, and then coming back up, keeping the resistance in the band, come back down to your knee and stand up. So more resistance on that side. All right, and then instead of bending here, what I want you to do is I just want you to tip your head. All right, so you're going to feel a stretch in your side here. So Martha, you could just do a side tip with your head. You could use your hand for some resistance. Everybody could use their hand for resistance if you want. And just get this nice stretch in the side of the neck. All right, and then back to center. We'll switch the strap under the foot, opposite foot. it's a slack strap for the first one. You're gonna reach down and grab by your knee, and then we're just gonna slide down and get a side stretch here. Couple of deep breaths. Again, not letting that opposite leg drop in. Keep that pressure on the outer foot. And then inhale up. Now keeping the tension, catch it down at your knee. Pulling up. Keeping this arm bone back, dip the head. So you're going to feel a stretch here. You can apply a little light pressure with your opposite hand if you'd like to get a nice stretch in the neck. Just don't overdo. Let the stretch happen from the resistance band, pulling that shoulder down. All right, and then release. We'll take that strap out from under. Okay, now you're very carefully turning sideways. Take your feet as wide as the mat if you can. And here you see the resistance band is going to want to pull the heels in towards each other. All right, so take your heels wide. Get those outer feet parallel to the sides of the mat. And then outer edges of the feet down. And then with an exhalation, just come forward into your Uttanasana stretch. You can bend one knee, straighten the other. Kind of ease into hamstring stretches. Even in Uttanasana, you can do that. You'll feel it. It feels different in the lower back. Right? When you bend the knee, you kind of lengthen the opposite side and you get a little more stretch in the lower back. Right? And then eventually come to both legs straight. In those outer feet grounded, heels wide. All right, and then soften the knees and stand up. Now step your feet closer together. So you still feel the resistance between the feet, but it's not as super intense. All right, and Martha, you could do this with your strap. You'll just have to play with the right distance. All right, you're gonna take your band under your armpits. All right, now just watch me for just a moment. We're not applying a lot of resistance here, but we want to find that concave back. This is where if you need to put blocks under your hands, you may. Right? So if I'm not maintaining the concave back, if I'm letting my upper back round, you see what happens to the strap? It comes up around my neck and bumps me in the back of the head. All right? So you want to bring that strap in your armpits and keep it right there in the upper back as you look forward and hold that upper back in. All right, don't let the loop around your ankles pull your heels in. Right, you start to feel that band roll up your shoulders, shoulder blades down towards your waist, upper back in, lift your chin and look forward. It's starting to roll. All right, then bend the knees slightly and come up. Right, so it just adds a little bit of reinforcement in that upper back. All right, let's take this down. We've got the hamstrings warmed up. Wrap that band around your hands so you can be about shoulder distance apart. We're going to keep this around the ankles. So you're going to bring your hands down, take your hands forward, pull the band so it's a little tight, and then it'll take a couple of steps to get your legs back. All right, and then you're going to take your feet wide so you feel resistance in that band. So you have to push those outer ankles out. And then here you can do bend one knee, straighten the other, back and forth to your desire. And those outer ankles moving out, don't let the band pull them in. Trying to get that outer foot down and seeing that the inner arch lifts. Right, and then eventually both legs straight. Even if the heels aren't down, drive them out. Press into your hands and pull back at your thighs. Nice big back body stretch. Let your neck release. All right, and then step your feet in together. Take that loop off of your feet and come down onto your hands and knees. Okay, now this is where if you need some padding for your knees, you can grab a blanket. And we're going to take that loop that we've had around the feet. We're going to take it around the arms. All right, so take that loop off your feet. Scoot back a little bit. All right, and you're going to place that band around your forearms. Okay, and then you're going to come into tabletop. And pull the hands at least shoulder width apart, right? So you're going to feel that band pulling on the arms. Right? And then maintaining that tension on the band, you're just going to arch into a cat pose. And then drop down into a cow pose. Couple more. Back to cow at your pace. Finding the part of your back that really enjoys moving through flexion and extension. Right, and then just come to a neutral spine when you finish. Right, and you can walk your hands together to loosen that band, and then we're just going to come up onto that knee, hands and knees. Right, and Martha, you can do this without the band, it's fine. You'll get a little bit of action there. Round your wrists, band is down in front of you, and you're just going to pulse going up, so we'll add a little bit of strength this ear. Pulse coming down. Pulse going up. Pulse going down. One more time, up. And down. Now, you're going to come to a full plank with the strap around your wrists. Full plank, strap around the wrist. I'm going to go down to elbows just so you can kind of watch what I'm doing with the legs. All right, so and if you need to come down to elbows, you can come down to elbows as well. But we're just going to take the legs straight. You're pulling your hands apart enough that you feel that resistance on the band. And we're just going to take the legs straight into the plank. All right, and then we'll pull one knee towards the chest and back out, opposite knee to the chest, back out. Try to get 3 rounds of that. And then you can bend the knees and come down and rest. Okay. Now we're going to take the band around the ankles, the loop around the ankles. Right? So, band around the ankles. You're going to be in your plank. What this is helping with is when we transition from dog pose into bringing one of the legs forward, this is going to help with finding those abdominal muscles and that movement in the legs. And we're not going to bring the leg forward because we can't, right? It's attached to the other one. But you're doing that same thing, either from the full plank or the elbow plank. All right, the legs will step back. All right, and then you're going to bring one knee towards your chest. The strap may come around the heel. That's fine. As you pull in, it may come down around your heel. All right, just back and forth. Really lifting up at your abdomen. You don't have to hold the plank. Lift up at your abdomen as you bring the knee in. Back and forth. One more round. All right, and then bring the knees down. You want to go back into a child's pose and rest. Go back into a child's pose and rest. So I guess there is some strengthening. I didn't think about it that way. All right, come on up. We'll use the bands. We're going to do a little flow now. So we're just going to use this band, the big band. Martha, you could probably use a strap. You can put it around your wrists. We'll start on the front edge of the mat. Actually, Martha, you're going to want to hold it. You're going to want to hold it. You're not going to want it around your wrist. All right, if you've got a strap that you can wrap around your hands, you can wrap around your hands. If you've got one where you need to hold, you can hold in the middle. All right, whatever works, you'll find a way that works. We're going to do a little sun salutation. We're going to have the band around the arms for this. All right, so with an inhalation, lift your arms up, pull on the band. All right, so it's not going to be a true Urdhva Hastasana. Pull on the band. All right, now tighten up the abdominal muscles, a little bit of a cat pose. Tuck that tailbone in a bit, gauge the abdominal muscles, and come forward into your Uttanasana. Remember that strap, you want to keep it in your upper back. Right, bend the knees, place the hands, but pull on that band a little bit. So you feel some tension in the arms, and then step back one foot and the other. Come to your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Remember the strap around the ankles. Push those heels out. Push those heels out. Okay, now look forward. Bring that knee towards your chin. All right, I can't do it on that side. Bring your knee towards your chin and throw that leg forward and come back into Parsvottanasana. You're pulling that strap wide so there's some resistance in the arms. All right, bend the knee, place the hands, step the foot back. All right, now you're going to bring that second leg forward. It's not very pretty. All right, and then again, pulling on that band between your arms, straighten your leg into Parsvottanasana. Okay, and then bend the knee back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Look forward, walk your feet forward, Uttanasana. All right, and then pulling on that strap, inhale and come up, Urdhva Hasana. And release. All right, you need to relax the band for a moment. Relax the band. We're going to do one more round with Virabhadrasana 1. All right, so strap around the hands. Comfortable resistance for you. Remember those outer heels pressing into the loop we had. Inhale, Urdhva. All right, exhale and come forward. Don't let that band slip onto your neck. All right, and bend the knees, place the hands, step the feet back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. I completely forgot Urdhva Mukha Svanasana because I can't do it. If you want to take an Urdhva Mukha Svanasana now, you may. And then press back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, and then looking forward, you're going to bring one leg forward. Drop that back heel. Keep this knee bent. Inhale, pull on that strap and come up to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale and come down. Step the legs back. Bring the other leg forward. Drop the back heel. Keeping the knee bent. Pulling on that strap. Inhale and come up. Exhale, come forward. Plant the hands and step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. If you want to take your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, take your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then looking forward, jump or step your feet forward. Uttanasana. Hold it on the strap. Inhale. Come up. Exhale. Release. All right, let's lay down. Martha, you'll use your strap. We're going to do Supta Padangusthasana with this flexible resistance band. It's kind of fun. I'm going to take mine and fold it in half. All right, and then you'll bend your right knee. Take that band around the front of the heel. Hold as close to your foot and then push up. And the cool thing about this is you actually get that feedback, right, that you've pushed. You get it with the strap in that you feel more tension. Like you feel yourself pushing into the strap. But here you actually see the foot go up. And it's just a different feeling, I think, holding the resistance band. All right, now, remember pushing with the foot and really firming that left leg. So extend, 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 push down through the left leg. That's all you're going to think about is holding that left leg to the floor as you take the right leg out to the side. Really holding that left leg down so the body stays very firm, very earthy and grounded. And then with an inhalation, bring that right leg back up. Bend both knees, release your band or your strap. And let's take the left leg. All right, left leg around the heel. Holding close to the foot, straighten the leg. All right, and then sliding that right leg, and that's all you're going to think about. Extend through that right leg, front of the right thigh to the back of the right thigh. Try to get the whole back of the leg onto the floor. Right arm out to the side. Left leg loose. But it's very anchored by the right side. Couple of deep breaths there. And then with an inhalation, bring the leg back up. Bend the knees. Set the soles of your feet down onto the floor. We're done with the band. All right, bring your knees in towards your chest and give the shin bones a pull towards your head. Right, and then set the feet. Or just bring the knees together, keep the knees up. You're gonna drop the knees over to the left-hand side. As the head and the belly turn to the right. Back up to center. Dip everything over to the right. Head and belly to the left. And legs back to center. Set your feet down, line up the hips and shoulders. Make sure they're lined up. All right, and then you can re-bring the knees in towards the chest just to be symmetrical for a moment. And then set your feet down. You decide if you want your shavasana with the knees bent, feet on the floor, or if you want to go straight. You've got a blanket nearby, you want to put that behind your head, you're welcome. Arms can rest, hands on your torso, or you can keep the arms on the floor, palms up. You decide for your breath, the deep inhalation, long, slow exhalation, or just resting with a normal breath. All right, and slowly bend your elbows, rest the palm on your torso. Take a nice deep breath. One at a time, bend your knees. Place your feet onto the ground. Feel the ground under your feet. And then slowly roll to your side. Rest with your arms. Up. Head low, eyes closed. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming to class. And slowly raise your head. Slowly open your eyes. Have a lovely day.